He's 6'5", 114 kilograms, a grand final winner with Leeds back in 2017.
Are you doing a Who Am I?
Shh.
Right.
Played internationally for Ireland. Was a prop. Played in 2013 and 2017. What?
It's so dismissive. Was.
Toronto also. And he used to be vegan. He kind of is vegan, but he does eat eggs. Who am I?
That wasn't supposed to come out.
Oh.
Anthony Mullally. That's the only. I think that description could only describe two people: Robbie Mulhern.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
You're not unique. There's another one, Robbie Mulhern.
There-
But
I
he's a proper vegan, isn't
And
he?
he's still playing, isn't he? He's been injured, but he's
Really
still
good
playing.
as well.
Anthony
He's really
Mullally,
good. He's
welcome
really
to
good.
the bench with Jenna and Jon. It's so lovely to have you here in London. We're in the vodcast, not the YouTube, but the podcast studios.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's lovely. Very fancy.
Thank you for coming.
No, my pleasure.
You've been retired for a while. What have you been up to?
All sorts. How long have you got?
We've got at least half an
But
hour.
I'd rather you didn't just do a half-an-hour monologue.
No.
I mean,
Go
for it.
I've been up to a lot. It's been
too much.
well, no, it's building. I'm getting back to. It's interesting. You kind of trying to find parallels in what I'm doing now between professional sport, like in terms of keeping a structure. I've been trying to maintain, especially when I first retired, and I wasn't getting paid. So it's a long. We get into it, but obviously I think people know I was living in Cornwall in a van after Toronto went bust. So
2020 was
it
2020?
When you say van, do you mean a camper van or just a van?
Okay. Yeah, it's a camper van. It's
So there was a bed in-
Citroen Relay. Yeah, a little bed, little.
Was there a bed or was it just a mattress?
Tez O'Connor has one.
Tez O'Connor does.
Where does he go?
Where does he go in his camper van? He just
He
goes in
brings it
witness.
to work every now and then.
He goes.
That's a
he
waste
goes
of a
to-
camper van.
He goes into what's the Hornets?
He just stays in the field.
Yeah, just goes.
Farmouth.
Yeah,
Stays
yeah.
in-
Honestly, he goes to Widnes.
Bit
Just
weird.
amateur rugby club's a Widnes. Parks up, and then just bobs out just when the kids. He goes and he's just like, oh, is that Terry O'Connor?
Does he say that?
Yeah, he did. Hey, no, he's
To get
horn
attention.
on his camper van when he presses it. He just goes, Tez. That's his horn.
So do you have
Love
a
Tez.
fridge? Did you have?
We had a fridge. I had like a little
He said fringe.
little stuff.
I was like trying to work out what.
I seen some of a fringe later. I thought, should I get a fringe? Imagine me like no. All right.
Hang on, what kind? Like a side fringe or a full like, front across the forehead?
My question with that is, would it make any difference?
Yeah,
Either
a
way.
side fringe would be less harsh.
Yeah, true.
Okay. We can rule out fringe, can't we?
But you had a
Rule it out.
You
fridge.
can always pin back the side fringe too.
Yeah. Okay.
Front, all front is very hard to do.
Old school.
I'll bear that in mind.
We had a fridge.
I had a fridge. I had a little oven, and essentially, so I was surf coaching for a little bit, and I'd be in the water all day, 6 hours a day.
I thought you were saying
All
you were
day.
surf couching, couch.
No,
surfing.
no, surf coaching.
Surf
So
coaching,
surf, yeah,
okay.
I was a
Surf
big
couching.
surf guy.
Surf couching's a different
Couch
thing, isn't it?
surfing.
I was on fires in the evening on this farm and eating burritos in the oven. It was the best time because Toronto went bust. I don't wish we were going to. I've already been on like a bit of a journey in terms of dropping. He said, "Don't say journey." Sorry. Dropping.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah, dropping down from like the top flight to. And obviously, I know I went to Toronto from Leeds because that was like, okay, I need something because my motivation was going. So I was like, I need something that's going to reinvigorate my passion for the game. I still love the game. I was struggling to get up for it. And obviously, Mac went to Toronto. He gave me the call. So that was that was good. So I'd already started that journey. But then when Toronto went bust, I was like, oh, this is my chance here. This is my chance to. Just
I want to break free.
Literally. So I got the van, went down to Cornwall.
I'm interested in this van. I need to know more about this
no.
van. Well, did you buy the van up here?
I bought it, so I was living with me
Well, I say up here. I
Up
mean,
here,
up
yeah.
north.
up north. So I was living in Hebden Bridge while I was at Toronto. Remember, I was like renting. I was in an Airbnb.
Yeah.
It was really nice. So obviously ex-partner was all from Canada. So I'll get somewhere we can stay, which is a bit not like the outskirts of Manchester. And I seen it at a petrol station. We were talking about it, and I seen a van, and I pointed to. I was like, "Oh, look at that!" And the guy seen me point, And he was like, "Oh, it's actually for sale if you want to have a look." So that's it. We bought it.
It's meant to be.
Yeah, like a week or so
Did
later.
you say we?
I bought it.
Oh, you bought it.
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah.
To be clear, it was not separated in the split.
No, it definitely was not.
There was
A half a van. Who wants half a van? Well, I've got a good story about Mull. So we were in Toronto, and Mull was obviously going through a transformational time in his life into wellness, into all of these things. And there was an element of which he became, I would say, quite preachy about the virtues of polygamy versus monogamy, or the myth of monogamy, or whether it should be a thing. So he was just getting into it. He's just describing why he sort of maybe thought that maybe wasn't the way. 6 weeks later, engaged.
It wasn't 6 weeks.
must have been
It was a
special.
little bit.
Was it? How long was it? 6 months.
Maybe 6 months. Yeah. What can happen?
Oh,
in
she's
6
special.
months?
Canadian woman.
Canadian, okay. Can I? So I did do a little bit of reading on you. In early 2017, Anthony turned vegan. He was vegetarian before that and consumed very little dairy. Not so much anymore. You have dairy now?
Really wasn't supposed to talk about this, but
Oh,
all right.
Why are we not supposed to talk about
Well,
this?
because there could be backlash. You know, I've not
Oh.
actively said I'm not vegan.
You are
I'm
still
not-
vegan. That's fine.
Pretty much some.
But you said I'll never eat animal products optionally again.
Oh no! This is
I'm getting-
Sorry,
this is just a diss.
Jeff.
This is
No.
stitch up.
this is
I-
sabotage.
How much do you, okay. Yeah, interesting. So what changed?
So I'm not eating meat for about 8 years. I was vegetarian, then I went vegan. I was vegan for about I'd say about 4 or 5 years, and then I just felt like I wanted to eat eggs again. I felt it like intuitively. So I still only kind of go. I'll get them from like an actual farm. The eggs, like I know, like the legit free range eggs. So I'll do that. And say we're out at a meal and there's a bit of dairy or something, I might have it. I wouldn't buy it at home, but a lot of distinctions. Then there's a lot of, like, I try not to like put like a certain category of my dietary orientation. But yeah, I do eat eggs now.
When you decided to turn vegan, how did your teammates react?
As you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, just classic banter.
Banter
Yeah,
Jokes. Because I'm interested in, obviously, rugby league is perceived as one of the toughest sports there is, right?
Yeah.
You'd think that you need your carbs, you think you need, your meat, your protein, all of that. And I know you can get it from other foods.
Yeah.
But did it affect at first? Like, did it have any impact on the way you played, the way you trained?
No, so I did it really slowly. When I say that, so I stopped eating meat, and I stopped eating chicken, or white meat, and then fish, and then I was veggie. So it took about 2 years, which I think the kind of research that's been done shows it's the best way to do it, like a slow process. So I didn't really. Obviously, it's harder in terms of there's not loads of like the super lean sources of protein on a vegan diet that you can have. So that was kind of, you have to be a bit more creative with like your meal prep and that kind of stuff. But the nutritionist at Leeds at the time was really good. So we like worked together. You were like tracking obviously me calipers, and I didn't lose any muscle, any strength, anything like that. So yeah, it was fine.
What was the reason behind it?
There's a few. There's a few. This is before like the kind of cherry pick documentaries. I just seen some stuff about obviously the like mass scale of environmental impact of agriculture, kind of like ripping down the Amazon, that kind of stuff, not small scale like farming. And like there was some stuff on the health side of things, which obviously is debatable massively. I'm not going to get into that here because I don't know enough. But these are some of the things, and then the ethical side of it as well. So 3 different areas which toyed me to kind of go down that way. And I can't see myself eating meat again, but we never say never. If the grid goes down and we have to hunt for our food again, I will. But until then,
I'd love to see it.
yeah.
I want to know how you got onto this wellness path. What changed? Was there a turning point? Because if you wouldn't mind, can I read another quote that I saw? It was after winning the grand final with Leeds, which was in 2017, which you kind of have touched on. It was all you felt you ever wanted to do. You did that. And then there was a feeling of what now?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? So was it almost like a mental health issue? Did you go into a slight, like, was there anxiety? Was it almost like like a depressed state? What can you put into words exactly how you were feeling after winning that grand final back in 2017?
Yeah, so there was a bit of a journey leading up to that. I was when I was like, breaking into the Leeds team, probably like 215, 216, and I wasn't playing. I was just going out and getting like hammered all the time, and it didn't feel. I didn't know. So the word I didn't really know what the word authenticity meant, but I didn't feel authentic. I'd wake up after like a 2 day bender, and I'd have obviously just severe beer fear. I'd say unfortunate. I've never suffered with mental health issues, but or depression. But I feel well, partly depression is a bit of a metabolic disease in terms of you just kind of like low energy, so you burn through too much fuel. So I feel like as well as the identification with depression. So whatever you're feeling is coming and going, that's fine. But if you can choose to identify with it or not. I'm not saying this is for everyone with depression, but it's like happiness, just whatever it is. So I've definitely experienced like being sad or being depressed, but I've never like said I am depressed. It's just something I was
Or you
experiencing.
suffer from
Yeah, yeah. It's just something I might have experienced in that moment. So obviously, I definitely feel like depressive and like anxious after like a big weekend of drinking, of course. And it just didn't. It was happening. It just didn't feel good. At the start, I remember just feeling like and that's swear. I won't
Yeah.
swear.
No, you're right.
And obviously all those kind of thoughts and ruminating. I was a big overthinker before I got into meditation, and so leads us to
Well,
that.
overthinking and drinking are like that must be like a horrendous combination.
Yeah, yeah, massively. You think about, especially because I'd blank out after a night out. 70-80% of my nights out, I drink into such excess I could never remember my nights out. So obviously playing in Leeds, in living in Leeds, like in a city, like rugby is a big deal there. And like, I'm like, what did I do? Did I get? Because when I was younger, I got in a bit of trouble for fighting and stuff like that. I was like, is that like side of me coming out again, and stuff like that. So that was the overthinking. But I got introduced to a book, which you might be familiar with, called "The Power of Now" by Eckhart Tolle, and that's basically just it's very classic now, but back then it was like revolution for me in terms of like you're never really here in this moment. You're either worrying about the future or you can't let go of something from the past. Like you're always kind of bypassing the now for either a thought of something better in the future. So that was whoa, what the hell, and
Well, like just like
light bulb.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
grenade going off in your head.
yeah,
But, like
literally.
it resonated with you that
Yeah,
strongly that it made you want to change.
massively. I was like, then. So what it did was it made me kind of go inward. I started to meditate. I started to learn to meditate, or did try different forms of meditation. And what that allowed me to do was step back from the and observe all these behaviors or the thing that's wanting me to go out and drink like that. And I started to probably realize it was stuff from the past. Like don't mean to go too heavy, but obviously father leaving and suppressing that kind of stuff and like suppressing the sadness. So then that was boiling over. So meditation allowed me to kind of just witness all these kind of behaviors. So I'm getting back to your question, digressing. So that was happening. I was meditating and things like this. Then we won the grand final, and afterwards, um, it was just I felt good, but then I was just like, whoa, like I was like,
what now?
what now? And I remember being with Jamie Jones Buchanan back in pre-season, JJB, and
Yeah, cheers.
I was chatting to him because I was really struggling of the idea of trying to win a grand final again because it's like Leeds, Saints, Wigan. Well, that's bad. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
Saints and Wigan.
Leeds back then.
Yeah, Saints and Wigan,
Yeah,
yeah.
Saints and Wigan. Leeds back then.
Yeah.
It was like obviously Mac was there. He was like, okay, we go again, and that to me, I remember thinking, that feels like climbing Everest. Like emotionally for me to get ready to go for a full season, try win.
Well, that's the big challenge of sport is that you climb a mountain, celebrate it, and then it's almost like you don't like gradually climb down. The day after a grand final or a big event, the day after Wimbledon, I'd imagine, or big sports events, if you played in the 100 in cricket, the day after these big events, it's like a zip cord down to the bottom of that mountain. And you come from complete euphoria to the base of a mountain again. And then everything is telling you to go back up it. You've got to be weird to keep doing that in life.
You did it for
No, but I'm weird. I'm odd, as
Odd
we
John.
established. Yeah, last week. I'm odd, and my mindset has always been odd in that regard. It's like I'm not phased by that repetition of process. Like, and it probably I've got quite a busy sort of mind. That was probably quite therapeutic for me. But it's
Focus on.
the emptiest feeling in sport is the day after you've achieved something.
Even more so if you've made it all that way and you've lost.
Yeah, that's empty. But I actually found it. I went through something similar in 2006 where we won everything that year. We won the treble, like won everything, and we won the World Club Challenge against Brisbane in the February or something. And I just remember just feeling like, when you should be delighted, and like I was obviously celebrated, and then after that I was like, wow, like it doesn't
Because
stay.
you've done it. So when you haven't done it, you've almost got that drive
Yeah.
to go again. Whereas if you've done it, it's like, so I'm going to go through all of that again to just then do it and feel the same way the following
Yeah,
day.
but it's more, it never delivers the enjoyment what you'd expect. For me, it didn't.
Yeah.
I never got the satisfaction out of winning that people would expect. As I watch sometimes enviously of fans who celebrate wildly their team winning. And as a player, you do that, but then
It's more of a relief in it.
it's a relief. Yeah, it's not a celebration as such. It's like this anxiety.
I'm not going to
build.
get that video next week with more for me.
Yeah. So I look at fans sometimes, they're just unbridled joy, celebrating and with envy, because I was like, it never really felt like that for me. So that was
So there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. Anxiety, how to overcome it. You mentioned meditation, breath work. I want to get into that in a minute. But first, if we can just go to the present, which now you've got this wellness retreat that you're running. Tell us about that. Tell us how that event that came to fruition. Tell us what a retreat looks like. How many days does it go for? What are the activities that you do? What is the outcome for people that go on this retreat? What is the end game for them?
So the retreats, my retreat business is called Both Sides Retreats, and it's essentially a space for that. It's a space for men to come and prioritize themselves, because I think men and women, but a lot of men who I know do a really good job at holding everything down, like working really hard, trying to squeeze the training when they can, putting themselves last, and it's only right at burnout, or obviously worse. We know what's going on in terms of suicide, etc. It's too late before they kind of, okay, I actually need to take some time for myself here. So I want to create a movement where men can just prioritize themselves, small increments of time to come, reevaluate, process, do some different exercises that they wouldn't normally do, like the breath work, the meditation, and we'll surf, we'll do jiu-jitsu. So it's a mixture of like more challenging, more introspective activities. We're out in nature, surrounded by the natural environment for 3 or 4 days. And yeah, obviously we'll talk about masculinity, and like it's not me and Josh who runs it with me. We're not saying this is what it means to be a man, because I'm still working it out. But we hear a lot about toxic masculinity, so it's like, okay, let's create a space where we can chat about masculinity and what it actually looks like to be a good man. So I'm going to go all stoic, bro, but obviously the Stoics had the 4 cardinal virtues, didn't they? I hope I remember them. Justice, wisdom, temperance, and what's the other one?
Forget
courage. So it's and courage. So the Stoics had these cardinal virtues that they wanted to embody in their life and their behaviour. And I feel like if I asked you, Jenna, like, what's it look like to be a good man? Like, I don't know, like, what kind of like behaviours and characteristics would you say? Like, could you think of something off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, basically the 4 that you just listed there.
Yeah.
I know.
So what I mean is, like, I don't think there's enough kind of like how should I be aiming to show up in the world and then kind of represent myself the best way. So I feel like instead of talking about all the bad stuff, let's just start talking about the ways we can be the best version of ourselves.
So John, do you meditate? Do you?
Yeah, but I do. But I'm not like, this is where maybe I part ways in some ways with, like, there's a balance in life, I think, between everything being out there and open and being sort of stoic and keeping things down. Like, I come from a long line of farmers, like, they're incredibly stoic. Like, they deal with all sorts internally and sort of maybe do not share that experience. So I'm like learning that's not great for me. Like, I'm not particularly good at that. I push things down and don't really deal with them. And but I also think there's an argument for that as well. At times, I don't necessarily celebrate the everything being out there all the time, and we're always discussing everybody's business and everybody's got issues all the time. But there's a balance.
I agree.
There's a balance to strike, and I think that this can really help. You ask if I meditate. Well, yeah, you know what I do? I listen to things.
What?
Well, I walk the dogs and I listen to the wind And that for me is meditating, or the trees making a noise, or the birds where I live. The birds make an incredible amount of noise, and I'll just sort of take a noise and listen to it for a bit, and it clears my mind. I could once
When you're listening to that noise, you can
I just
your
it ta-
mind is empty.
no, it takes me 10 minutes of just listening, and then eventually, and you try and hijack. I always try and hijack myself, so I'll be just listening, and it's not like I go right now. I'm going to listen for. I'll just catch something and I'll just listen to it, and it's not something that it's not something that I've just like found myself. I got told about it. I went to see a sports shrink when I was playing at Saints. I was struggling with loads of loads of stuff, and I went and seen this guy, and he sat me down, and he's like, look, you're a good man, you're a good fella. He said, don't overthink, and when you do, listen for a sound and just focus on that. And that's how I meditate. What about you, Jenna Brooks? Do you meditate?
I've tried a number of times. I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Well, so I a headspace.
So what if we could listen in, right? What would your head sound like?
Yeah, screaming.
What?
Yeah. Well, it's just going on. Like, I don't really have time to be doing this. I should be doing this. I've got this game coming up. I've got to be doing this. Where are the boys? Did I do this for Zach? Did I do this for Will? Like, it's just constant.
So you list?
Yeah, I list. I'm a to-do list person.
Are you? But you like repetitive to-do lists. Do you struggle with bad stuff? Does that like ruminate around your head?
What do you mean?
Well, like you say something bad happens, you go, oh, do you think about it a lot?
Yeah, but that's surely everyone does that if something bad happens. What?
Yeah, true.
I think that what I
Lost
do is
my arm.
there's that saying that I've had many problems in my life, none of which have happened. I tend to think about what could happen, and then I get fixated on that, and I start worrying and panicking and stressing about something that I don't necessarily. It may not happen. It may never happen. And that's my issue. But I would love to meditate. I have tried time and time again, and I haven't ever been to see anyone, so I haven't tried that hard. I've used apps, right? So that's me trying.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do it. I would love to know, a key. That listening thing is very interesting. Perhaps I'll try doing that. But yeah, is there a key to?
Well, just before you go on, one of the weirdest things I've ever done in my life, and I've done a lot of really weird things, is the weirdest moment of my life was listening to a bedtime story read by Matthew McConaughey that was helping.
I've done that too.
Yeah, but
that wasn't weird.
But Matthew McConaughey's voice, and there's loads.
Did
He
you
put
go to
loads.
sleep?
He put loads of S's in his speeches, and he's like, "There's like 7 shackling thirsty stars."
So the thing you said about you struggle to meditate, I feel like that's kind of the opposite. It shouldn't be a struggle, but there's a misconception, I think, like widely with meditation, and it takes many forms, like you said, going for a walk, being in nature, like paying attention, listening. That's 100% a form of meditation. You don't have to sit down on a cushion for a certain amount of time to meditate. But I think there's a misconception when it comes to having to clear the mind. I think because no one can do that. No one can actually fully clear the mind for like a long period of time, because thoughts are going to come and go with it.
Except for John, when
Mark
he's a
Percival.
little bird.
Mark Percival can. Trust me, nothing's gone through his mind ever. Mark Percival has zero going on in his mind. It's literally lift music between his ears.
I'm not quite sure I'm following.
Well, Mark Percival doesn't have any conscious thoughts. There's zero brain.
Omnipresent.
No, they attached him to a machine that measured brain frequency, and he's actually no brain.
When you say they, who is they?
The scientist.
Scientist.
The scientist.
That came
Science.
for him.
Yeah. So apart from Mark Percival, not anybody.
Right, okay.
No thought.
Not because thoughts going to come whether you like it or not. But the issue is if you sit there and try and clear your mind, so that trying in itself is counterproductive, because you shouldn't be trying to do anything. We should just be there. You should just be witnessing. But then when a thought comes in, if you get annoyed because there's a thought, and you go, bloody hell, I'm thinking. So that's counterproductive. So the essence of, there's lots of different forms of meditation, but the essence is for you to be able to sit behind those thoughts and emotions that are coming up. So like I'm looking at this microphone now. Obviously I'm obviously not a microphone because I can see it. It's the same with a thought.
You're not a microphone.
Well, I'm not because I can see it. But it's the same with a thought and emotion. So If I close my mind and I close my eyes, I can see certain thoughts, I can feel emotions, but I'm still witnessing that. So it's the ability to be able to sit there with it and let it, it's like a cloud will come past an open sky. It's not, you can't stop it. It's going to come and go. So the ability to let a certain thought come in, witness it, and don't hold on to it, and like don't or don't push it away either, because like there's a saying, what you oh no, I forgot it. I don't know.
Suppress.
Yeah, what you resist persists. So what you so
It's
yeah,
a very Brent-like
yeah,
delivery as well.
What you
What you resist.
persists. So if you're resisting certain thoughts, certain feelings, it's going to stay around. It's going to go somewhere else and come up later on. So for you to sit there and just let it come in and out, and you might use your breath as a focal point. So you focus on your breathing, your belly rising, your the rise and the fall of your rib cage, and then you could try count your breaths, and then next thing you were thinking, oh, what am I gonna have for food after this? So instead of going, I've just thought, you go, okay, I noticed that. Come back to the count of my breath, and you just do that over time.
So you said before, off camera, off mic, that when you breathe in, your heart races. When you breathe, it speeds up.
Yeah.
When you breathe out, it slows down.
Yeah.
So should you be breathing out longer than you breathe in? Can you give us an example, basically? Let's just do it together.
So let's just sit up for a second. Put your hands on your ribs.
God, I can't feel them.
like lower ribs.
Yeah.
And just start to breathe in through the nose, in and out through the nose, slower. You shouldn't be able to hear your breath like that, Jenna.
Sorry.
Out through the nose.
Oh,
You just
she just snorted up bugs.
so
She just snorted up.
I didn't.
guys trying to do a breathwork session.
Shush.
Sorry.
So you're holding your ribs, you're in. So breathe in slowly through the nose. Close your eyes for a second.
Eyes open or closed?
Close your eyes. Let's relax. So as you're breathing, I want you to pay attention to where you feel it in the body. So if you when you're breathing, you start to feel your shoulders shrug like so, and you inhale, just relax them. Relax the shoulders, and then where your ribs are, where your hands are, sorry, in your ribs. Yeah. When you inhale, focus on those ribs, pushing your hands out to the side. Why can't you do it?
Because sorry.
No.
My thoughts, I just got funny.
And then exhale.
I just thought about quavers. Where did that come?
And now we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. We're going to exhale for 6 seconds through the nose. So you have to breathe in nice and slow. And when you do it, I want you to focus on relaxing your shoulders and it all expanding through the lower torso. So 360-degree movement of the lower torso. So let's just start by exhaling through the mouth. Then it's going to be through the nose. So exhale through the mouth. Right now. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In and out through the nose now. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more of these. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. So that example, you could do that. You could do that for 3 to 5 minutes, and in the morning,
you do it lying down.
You can do it lying down. Yeah, you can do that for 5 minutes, and what that's going to do is it's going to act as a meditation. But the good thing is, when you think of like breathing protocols, it takes out the thing of got to clear my mind. So if you can just focus on in for 6 for 3 minutes, obviously your mind will wander. Just come back to the counting. That's a meditation itself. So that's a good place to start. And obviously reducing your breathing volume to like 4 to 6 breaths a minute is going to bring like a bit of a balance to the nervous system. So it's going to take you from that more threat detection, like mobilizing energy, to one that's more associated with recovery.
I feel chilled.
Same.
It doesn't take much, honestly. Some people who like breathe up a chest.
People should have a crack at that. I think it's such an easy win, isn't it? Why would you not?
So the thing is with the breath, it's both conscious and unconscious, and it's pretty much the like linchpin between the mind and the body. So you can use your breath to like affect state and like bring yourself back down. So it's something that obviously we've been sleeping on for a long time. Obviously, like the ancient like in the East, they knew about all this stuff, and like science is catching up now. There's a lot of research coming out. So it's just like I say, it's just an easy win. Like, why would you not use it before? So before this Sky Sports thing, before the interview, I was nervous. So I was like, I was inhaling really slowly, long exhales, trying to calm myself down. So I wasn't panicking.
So for those who might not be aware, Anthony was a guest on the Rugby League Verdict, which you can catch every Wednesday on Sky Sports News at 3:30 p.m.
He wasn't nervous because he'd done breathing.
Yeah,
Very sweaty hands though.
I like how.
No,
Clammy
noticed
palms.
that.
Why did you hold hands on set?
What did you not see us holding hands next to the screen?
The whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. We're just longing.
You
with
were
a
there
look into my
supporting
eyes.
him. I find that interesting that, yeah, you can really use that breath work to help with anxiety, help with nerves. Did you ever help many of your teammates ahead of like a big match? Were you doing it during, like, would you do it before a game?
Yeah, so I didn't help my teammate because I was figuring it out myself. I'd kind of just take myself off and just lie down and I'd do some. It was more so the breathing obviously calms you down, but it also anchors the mind.
Yeah.
So if to stop me from thinking about all the things that could potentially go wrong in the game, I created a time where I was just thinking about just into obviously flow. We heard flow state. When you measure kind of your brain in flow state, it's more like alpha wave states, and that's more associated with just being like embodied and not like thinking about the future, the past. So I was trying to bring myself inwards so I could just go out and do. Obviously, we've practiced all our lives, aren't we? It's in us, the ability to perform if you already got to that level. So it's just getting my mind out the way so my body can do what it needs to do. Yeah.
Interesting. Very good. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I think I was naturally. I was naturally pretty good at switching off.
I found it a little bit awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Just cameras. I knew that cameras.
Yeah, and you.
That,
oh
that
yeah.
Like
I forgot about the camera.
I didn't. I was like, this could look really weird and sound weird too.
We once had a psychologist come in at St Helens, and he was a guy called Watt Nickel. He was famously Wayne Rooney's like psychologist. Cool. Wayne Rooney's when he was young, he was working with Wayne Rooney. Might not have worked out so well in the end. I mean, let's look. That story's still playing out.
Yeah.
But he came in and he was the Scottish, crazy Scottish, had a floppy hat on. And just, you made me think about that where the camera was on us. And he said, I want you to, he's Scottish or Welsh or Irish or any of the, he said, I want you to visualise the word yes. And he said,
yes.
Yes. And he said, I want you to compress it with both your hands. And as that word yes is gone, I want you to scream win. Right? So I'm like 19, right? Look across the dressing room. Darren Britt's there. He's that wellness to him is not, it's just not a thing. He's like stoic. He can't use his arms, he scratches his head with his thumb because his fingers don't work. He's like never spoken about a problem in his entire existence. Anyway, he's gnarly old Australian man who I was playing with at the time was looking over at me. So it comes to it. And I was visualising, eyes closed, compressing the word yes. I got to the end of it and I was like, where? Oh, nobody else. Just me.
And just so did you feel comfortable by doing it, or did you continue to do it?
No. I got where out and then realised nobody else was doing it. And then I just kept my eyes closed and tried to get out of the room.
I can't see, it's not real.
If I open my eyes now,
it's real.
I'm broken. I just went to meditate.
Yeah.
Anthony, we are almost out of time, so we'll move on to on and off the bench. We did give you a bit of a heads up on this. On the bench is something you want to see less of in rugby league or in sport even. Off the bench is something you like to see more of. You want to get it into the game. I'll go first.
Whoa, you've not done some... You've been dodging your responsibilities, Jenna Brooks.
What do you mean?
You haven't. If people want to listen back, you've sneakily got away with not doing any for a while.
You know why? Because we're out of time, and when we're on OBs, we're restricted to 30 minutes.
What does it sound like when...
waffle on the way that you do,
Fair play.
we run out of time.
What does it sound like?
I sacrifice my on and offs for the special guest.
You guys okay?
What a hero. What a hero.
Do you want me to leave?
What a hero. Yeah.
Am I going
first?
Yeah.
You go. Yeah,
so this is a lovely person has sent in his on and offs.
Well, you don't know if he's lovely.
I don't know if it's a boy, actually. It could be a girl, a man, or a woman. But it's from Isolation Player. And I'll read out.
Sounds like
love
a great
your
guy.
podcast. On the bench, would love for the episodes to be longer. So
he wants our episodes.
He wants our episodes to be longer. So I feel
on
like,
the bench is our episode length.
Yes. So again, that kind of links into, I apologise, when we are on OBs and we usually film the podcast, we, unfortunately are only on 30-minute times.
So you have
but-
Smithy, the producer, in your ear going, "Wrap it, Jenna."
Yeah, that's time.
Wrap
that's
it, Jenna.
time. But anyway, when we're in the studio, we have a little bit more time, which is great. So anyway, so that is his on or her on the bench. My off the bench is
Isolation player again.
This is still isolation player. I would turn the World Club Challenge. I like this actually.
Right.
I would turn the World Club Challenge into a tournament like the Champions League.
Whoa.
So once the season is finished, the grand final winners from Super League, NRL, the French League, Serbia, and so on all come together for a knockout tournament. Anthony, why are you laughing?
Lost me at French League.
Yeah.
They left out the Canadian League.
That's such a
Yeah.
move.
They're taking the.
Look,
They're
look.
not
No,
serious.
Jenna's
They're
not
they're not
stupid.
serious.
She comes across to this. She's thrown that in under the bus.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then have a knockout tournament.
Where
Some
would we
teams
play
would be
it?
getting heavily beaten, but I'm
We know
sure
we'll be
the publicity
competitive.
of the tournament would help spread the game a lot further. And then the team that wins it can truly say they are the best team in the world.
Isn't it ironic that isolation players come up with a very collaborative playing? idea?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
Off
saying?
brand.
I know what
You
you're
would have think
saying.
he would have said, "Let's play a game in a woods where nobody can see it." The isolation player on his own. Play.
Yeah.
What would you play in the woods on
So
your own?
that is my this week isolation.
I think it's a great
players.
idea.
I do too.
Yeah, a World Club, a proper. But we did it, didn't we?
Well,
It's
no,
been
we
done.
didn't. It hasn't really. It was like NRL
No.
v Super League.
Yeah, but it has. Yeah.
and
all
it was
right.
a World Club series.
Yeah, but you're not going to put Serbia and like what you do, Limu and Partizan Belgrade. Are they in Serbia? Well, there you go. I just think, yeah, let's do a more extended. Why don't we just have more international rugby as well?
Yeah.
So I think what we're craving is more inter-competition
Yeah.
matches.
Well, I think especially given the last two World Club challenges been won by Super League teams, I think
Yeah.
that there's a real.
What about team
appetite.
swap? That was my idea. St George swap for St Helens.
Sorry,
for a
is this
full
one of
season.
your off the bench?
No, but I've just
What,
thought of it
into the
now.
NRL?
I'm just going renegade. There's
Okay.
no format.
Oh, gone rogue.
So what?
Swap St Helens for St George for a full
See if
season.
anyone notices.
Yeah,
Swap
just
the players,
swap the full team,
okay, and the
It's-
coach and everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I mean, yeah, not
Yeah.
there's obviously exceptions. You don't bring their team coach
And just
the
don't
bus
speak about
over.
it. Like what do you mean?
No,
Like,
just
it's
bring
normal.
St George over here playing Super League as St George, but
And
playing
brush it over them, and someone asks them, "What do you mean? No,
Saints.
they've always been here."
But
Thanks.
Saints, it works, doesn't it? Because they're very similar. Like
Yeah,
do
you
a
wouldn't have
team
to
swap.
Make too many changes to jersey. What's your on the bench?
My on the bench is safety,
Okay.
just in life. I see, why is everything so safe all the time? Like we've just been downstairs in the studio, and the mild panic on everybody's faces when a wire fell off the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like quite breathtaking. We're obsessed with safety,
Yeah.
and specifically in rugby league, we're consumed by safety in an environment that's not safe. And I watched James Graham go on a rant on this. What made me think of this is that what we're trying to do is inherently make a game that's dangerous, safe,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
not
never
gonna work.
never will work.
But they're trying to just make it safer, making
But when will it
slight
ever?
adjustments. I don't know.
When will it ever be
I don't
safe?
know. But if it's a little bit safer, then it's going to make a number
I
of people
just-
want to
you
pick up a
can't
ball
control
and play
chaos.
if it is.
Yeah, but then I think we're making things safer because people are getting head injuries. But how many broken legs are we seeing? Like we almost prioritise head injuries over like having a limp. Like my hands are awful. That's a disability.
No, you are the same.
Like I get embarrassed sometimes. I can't take change off
Are
a
you
counter.
blaming the game for the appearance of your
Can't
hands?
take change of a counter.
I take injuries very seriously. Imagine my biggest fear in life is giving somebody a £10 note, knowing I'm going to get £8 change, because once he puts that fiver and those £3 on the side, I can't pronate my arms. So what I have to do, just for if people are watching, is I have to do this, and right because I can't pronate this hand. Quite often the coins will roll
The
off.
guy of Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Strong arm.
Problem is nobody knows how to handle a turkey. That one. Yeah.
Oh.
So look, I just think, well, we're obsessed with the game being safe. I'm not interested if it's safe. I play it because it's dangerous.
Insurance companies.
People
are.
want-
Insurance companies are, but that's their job to insure the game, and they can find a way. Have you not seen Along Came Polly? If
People
technically
watching these games
uninsurable,
as well.
all of these risk factors. At the end of the day, if people are going to play it, they're going to have to find the way to get it insured that isn't just a tick box. Sometimes I think we can get consumed with the optics, because in Lloyd's in London, where they've derived the insurance market from, as long as there is certain movements to be seen to improve the safety, then it makes it more investable, more insurable. Because of the litigation that hangs over the game, I feel like we're consumed with safety now. It's like safety's everything. Let's get more reckless. It.
People watch it because it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, people look at the UFC. Like I agree with head injuries, and they've done a really good job. They went too far at the start, but they've done a really good job. Just leave it now.
So you don't want to see the tackle height lowered next season?
I don't think it needs to. I think we've addressed that head injuries are dangerous and bad, and it's reduced the number of head injuries. But talk of this, like, cancelling kickoffs, and
Oof.
you know, like, you can't kick off to people now. Like, where does it end?
Really?
You just end up with what? Where two teams just stand 40 yards apart from each other and kick the ball to each other, because that's rugby union. You know?
Yeah.
No, I just don't know. I don't know where it's going. In a serious point, I think safety is obviously important, but there's some jobs in life that are inherently dangerous, and we can't underestimate the attraction of that danger to our sport.
I see your point.
Sure.
Okay, safety on the bench.
Yeah.
Anthony?
So which one are we on? Sorry.
We'll do on the bench. Sorry,
on
I
the
jumped
bench.
ahead. I did mine on and off
On
together.
the bench is something you would like to see less of.
See less.
You're
See
putting it on
less
the
of.
bench.
So mine's probably not as topical because I retired a few years ago, and I don't really watch. I don't have a TV. Let's see. What are you gonna say?
No, it doesn't have a TV.
I don't have a TV, so I don't.
What does it mean?
I try watch the
I'm
games when I
surprised
can.
that you, John Will, can have a TV.
I didn't for some time.
Okay, so
Until
don't judge.
I was
Anyway.
employed by Sky, and now I take my Sky Sports channels very seriously. Sky documentaries,
So sorry, what
Sky
don't?
Cinema.
On the bench, something you want to see less of.
So less of is, well, oh no, if I had me too. So less
less interrupted thoughts.
Yeah, it's the way it's been asked. But the one thing I want to say, I want, the kind of more of both actually.
That's fine.
No, but
there's no rules.
The on and off can be the same.
So one is kind of like into like a bit of like more honesty and or like integrity in the way things are handled from club coach player. So for example, you know when like a club will come in and try buy another club, a player, and
I like the idea of a club buying.
Buy another club, and like
Monopoly.
Just like but then you kind of telling the player that everything's fine, it's okay, and the next thing you get sold. Or
We had it Sam Halsall 2 weeks ago, who got traded. Right. He got traded for Jake Wardle.
Well, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah,
I get it's a business,
Yeah.
but you can still go about things with a level of like
Be open about
openness.
This could happen. We're thinking
Yeah,
about doing this instead of
exactly.
being like, ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Like the coach pretending everything's fine. So, you're in the plans. It's okay. Next thing, boom, you're gone. Just be honest and tell them, like, because they're adults at the end of the day, and if they know that they're not good enough at that time, they can work on that. But yeah, so
people hate telling people bad news though. People people hate telling other people bad news. People are terrible at doing it as well, because they're very, very wishy-washy. And do you know one of the cruel things about humans is we often leave hope in a situation that's hopeless for people because we don't say the thing.
So it's just business, but it's more personal as well. So better communication. If something's going on, just let them know. So if they're gonna have to move the family away, just let them know so they can prepare instead of like last minute and they less deceit.
And also, it's a blow to one's confidence too.
Yeah. For sure. So then, on the other thing, I think this is quite topical at the minute, but I'm not.
You're rolling into off the bench.
Am I?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So then, I want more player power, more. So if there's a big decision being made, I think that the players as a governing body need to have a say.
Yep.
I remember when I was playing, obviously we spoke about it. I think you joined League 13 for a while, so but like you probably didn't get the backup from everyone else. So if someone's going to do it, everyone needs to back them up. Like look at the NRL.
It needs a likable, charismatic guy to run it.
Yeah,
that's where I fall down.
But like
Swansea could do it.
Mm.
Well, he was kind of touching on it when we had him on the podcast.
He was.
He's got what's he got a degree in? He's a smart lad, isn't he?
Counting.
It's not that relevant, but he's a bright lad. So you need someone who can. You need someone who can speak, can't you?
it's not,
Well, it's not
relevant.
Well, it's not relevant to that.
I know, but it's like
you
if
know
he
what I mean?
applied for the job, he's a quantity surveyor and he's not qualified.
But he's
there's-
likeable.
Yeah, but there's like a degree to be
Yeah. Well,
head of it.
Like of the current players.
oh god.
I know you've not really been at the forefront.
This is where he gets
Oh, no.
exposed for not knowing anything
Yeah.
about rugby league. I think what I'd do is Andy Lynch still playing?
Andrew Dixon. I'm putting him on there
Okay.
because he's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And he's very smart. He's obviously doing research in concussion now, isn't he? He's doing a PhD. So he's getting kind of the players.
He's
Is
not
it something
long.
he'd wanna
He's,
do?
he's retired. He's been retired for a few years. Sorry, Dicko. I didn't know. I saw him at the game last week. Professionally warms up.
He's been playing prop. He told me.
But you don't have a TV. So
No, yeah.
you're lying. He hasn't played one game. How good would it be to have a friend who never watched TV? You just say, "I'm on telly." What have you been doing? I'm in a film. I'm in
an actor.
I'm in an 8-part series about living in a camper van in Cornwall. And everybody would be like, "Oh, well done."
John, what's your off the bench?
My off the bench is I've got to look. I want longer matches, Jenna Brooks.
Ooh.
Longer, okay, like Golden
nightmare.
Point longer, or
No,
what if it's a blowout and it's 52-2?
no, you misunderstand.
Oh.
52-2. I'm talking a 3-week match, right? I'm talking 24-hour
Like what we
game.
had when the lights went out last season at Lee.
Yes.
Had to play the game over 2 days.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking 24 hours. Just play a game for 24 hours. It'd be like
How many
the,
players
What's
have
the
you got?
break
the
system?
grand final. The grand final. Just play it for
Well,
even let's play it for 8 hours. And the game.
What, the first one to buckle?
No, it's still whoever wins by the end of it
How many
wins.
players have you got? Because you can't.
I'm not changing the number of players, Jenna.
Well, how do you expect?
Someone's got to change.
What
hasn't
do
it?
you mean?
How,
I wanna
how
see-
many interchanges. You're gonna have more interchanges.
Less.
Less.
I want to see pure exhaustion. Do you know that where you see at the end of a
Yeah.
marathon where somebody
Amazing.
can't walk and
Yeah,
they're doing
yeah,
that
yeah.
thing and they're like
Me after.
you know, like Alistair and Johnny Brownlee, they're picking each other up
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
can't run. Let's see more of that. Let's get an 8-hour game.
Right.
Yeah, and not buying
Separate the
it,
wheat from the
so-
chaff.
It's
You
116.
ain't buying a TV to watch that. I can. Are you?
No,
No,
definitely.
I'm
He's
not.
he's not
either.
buying a TV. If you did buy a TV, what would you watch?
Sky Sports.
Sky Sports.
I think you just have that fire.
Verdict.
You know where you
Verdict.
pretend you've got fire.
Yeah.
Just have that.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's about a wrap, isn't it? Anthony Mullally, thank you for coming in to
Breathing.
studio with us. Thank you for teaching us how to breathe, how
Yeah.
to meditate, how to focus, limit anxiety. John, thank you.
Can't believe it.
And as always, as ever, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
But
We'll
don't
see you
well
again
subscribe as well.
sometime soon. Will you do the subscription thing?
No, but just make sure if you like it, subscribe on Apple or Spotify or wherever.
wherever you get your
Yeah, don't just
podcasts.
watch it on the website all the time because it's less for our ego because we don't really know how many people.
Yeah.
We do, but I just want to see more.
And also,
subscribe.
if you want, and if you do like what you hear, do the stars. 5 stars, yeah? Give us 5 stars. Anthony, have you given us 5 stars?
No, but I will.
Good, please do.
Yeah.
do you have a phone?
I use pigeon to the message.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, gents, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.